What if that business that you have been working so hard to build, the one that you are burning yourself out to scale, the one that you are pouring your heart into every single day, what if it has been if the business that you are working so hard to build, the one that you are burning yourself out to scale, the one that you are pouring your heart into every single day, isn't even yours? What if it is just a reflection of the version of success that you have been sold on social media? Hmm. Interesting thought, isn't it? Today, we are pausing the noise and we are going to peel back the layers in this really juicy conversation. We are going to ask ourselves the question that almost no one is going to ask you to stop and consider, and that is, whose dream are you really building? Welcome to Resource with Jessica Reed. This is the space where we untangle your deepest truths from the noise, where we build businesses that feel like home, not just a highlight reel. Because let's be honest, we are bombarded daily with polished, curated versions of what business success is supposed to look like. We are constantly fed that it's the six-figure launches, it's the million-dollar business, it's the book deal, it's the TEDx stage, it's the multi-six-figure mastermind, it's the hundreds of thousands of followers. And without realizing it, so many of us start shaping our offers and shaping our goals and our timelines and even our identities to fit into someone else's blueprint. But is this what you really want? Or is this just what you thought you had to want to be taken seriously? In this episode, we are getting radically honest. Okay. We are unpacking how social media subtly seduces you into building someone else's dream, how to know if your goals are truly aligned or if they're adopted, why success is meaningless if it costs you your joy, your health, your peace, your values, and how to define your own version of success, whether that's a global impact, whether that's a deep presence with your family, or both, or whether that is quietly making magic behind the scenes, impacting lives that way, because that is no less version of success. Okay. You can be highly successful and intentionally unknown. You can make incredible money without craving the spotlight, and you can lead from power without performing for visibility. And I think, particularly in this age of social media, if you are a coach, if you are someone who is mentoring, is healing, you're following the advice of the traditional business coaches who are assuming that you want that level that they are offering. And it seems to be the only level of support you can get for your business. I want you to know that if that is not your version of success, that is okay. If traveling the world with your family and working 10 hours a week is not your version of success, that's okay. If your version of success doesn't involve having a team underneath you, that's okay. If your version of success doesn't involve having multi six-figure months, that's okay. This is something so deeply personal that you get to determine. And that is the beautiful thing about what you are doing. I want the $1 million business. That is a goal. That is something that I am working towards. I don't necessarily want other things that people who have $1 million business say have to come hand in hand, because I don't agree with that. Now, if we haven't met, my name is Jessica Reed. I am an intuitive business mentor. I'm also an alternative therapist. And I know what it feels like to get caught in the current of someone else's definition of success, to realize that you're chasing all the things that you thought that you wanted, only to discover that they never actually really belong to you. I have spent years walking a path of shedding old goals that were not mine, dismantling businesses that look great on the outside but drained me from the inside. And now I am building something that feels spacious and soul deep and successful because it is mine and it is my version of success. So, this is your invitation to come back to your own gold. Whose version of success are you measuring yourself against today? When we are constantly exposed to images of what success looks like, our nervous system starts to normalize it. We don't even realize that we've internalized beliefs like, if I'm not scaling to 7 figures, I'm behind. If I'm not the go to authority name in my niche, then I'm irrelevant. If I'm not fully booked out, then I'm failing. Whose timeline is that? Whose metrics are those? This unconscious comparison trap, it keeps you in business models, in pricing, in structures, in marketing strategies that don't even feel good. But you feel like they are necessary because you feel like you have to keep up. And despite what that 6 figure business coach or 7 figure business coach is telling you, you do not have to build business in one certain way. Okay. Yes, their system might be amazing. I'm sure it is. Their funnel is probably absolutely amazing. But there are other ways to do this. There are ways that you can align with your own version of success. And that is what I want you to become really aware of from this whole conversation today. I want you to start to look at, are you sacrificing what matters to you for goals that were never actually yours? Because I see this all the time, women working around the clock to grow teams that they never actually wanted. Okay, creators chasing virality when actually what they crave is intimacy. But they see other people being successful and that's how it happened. So therefore, that must be the right way, right? I see mothers sacrificing presence with their families for a business model that demands more than they actually have to give. And then it burns them out, not because they're not capable, but because they're carrying the weight of a dream that isn't theirs. So the result is resentment, it is fatigue, and it is disconnection from the business and from the gift that you offer that you once loved, because it is no longer feeling aligned and you no longer have a business that holds you in a way that you can deliver it in an aligned way. So this is where I want you to get really clear for yourself on what your version of success could look like. Okay, maybe you need to explore my foundations course as you work through this. You don't need to be everything to everyone to be successful. What if your dream is to run a business that supports you quietly from behind the scenes? Serve a handful of deeply aligned clients in an intimate high touch container to create enough income to feel abundant while having time to actually enjoy your life. You are allowed to opt out of the race, okay? If you choose to. You are also allowed to be the woman who is going for the book deal, for the million followers, for the virality, for the $1 million business. You can be that woman too. But the point is that you get to choose. You are allowed to choose depth over scale. You are allowed to choose scale. You are allowed to value peace over prestige. And your success, it doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be performative. It just has to feel true for you. So I truly hope, this is a nice short, sharp one today, but I truly hope that next time you open up your social media, I want you just to start to notice the people who you are following, the big names in business who are telling you the way of the world because that's been their experience in how they have built their businesses and what they have created. And you're looking at that and you're thinking, oh, okay, she's built a 7 figure business, but over the last 10 years, she's worked 50 hours a week and she's launched a book and she's spoken as a TEDx speaker and she's been on 700,000 podcasts and her podcast has 1 million subscribers. Like, when you're looking at all of these things, please know that it is okay if you don't want your life and business to look the same. It is okay if you do want it to look the same, but it is also okay if you don't. Because what I want you to take from this conversation today is that beautiful business that you are building as a vehicle to the life that you get to live, to the values that drive your way of being, that gets to be unique to you. You define what a successful business looks like, not what your business coach is telling you. You get to define that. Okay. I truly believe this gets to be a personal journey. And if your goals that you are chasing, if they are someone else's dream and they are not yours, then you are going to constantly hit roadblocks because your internal world is not aligned and your internal desires are not aligned with what you are consciously going for. So I want you to start looking at the goals. And these are our reflection questions for today. I love to leave you with something to actually integrate, to go and do, to think about. Where in my business am I chasing a goal that I don't even want? I want you to really think about that. What is driving that? A need to be seen in a certain way, a desire to be perceived, a belief that you have to have those things in order to be successful. What would my dream business look like if no one was watching? Even if there's a small part of you that goes, oh, is that possible? What would your dream business look like if no one was watching? And what version of success feels like home to you? I want you to really reflect on those questions. And then as you start to wonder, how do I then become the woman who is brave enough, bold enough to own what my version of success is? That maybe doesn't align with society's version, that maybe doesn't even align with my husband's version, that doesn't align with those business coaches' version. As you start to allow yourself to step out of that mold, believe in yourself, that comes from that deep inner work. That comes from you aligning your internal beliefs and your nervous system with what you want to create. And that is the kind of work that we do together. We do that in my private containers. We will be doing that in the Soul Led Success Academy. So go and check out the resources that I have a look at the offerings, the ways that we can work together, because this is what we do. We collaborate our internal world to match our external desires, and they need to be unique to you. So you don't have to chase the dream that someone else has sold you. Don't get caught up in that hype. Get motivated, but don't get caught up in that hype if it's not your dream. You get to build the one that your soul came here to live. Let others go viral if that's not your goal. Let it go. Let others build empires if that is not your goal. Let it go. If it is your goal, build the damn empire. You build what is real for you, and that is the most successful thing that you'll ever do. If this episode landed with you, then come over and say hi on Instagram and let me know. Are you aligned with the version of success that you are building in your business right now, or have you been building someone else's dream? I can't wait to chat, and I will see you next week.